Hello friends, welcome to class of transportation engineering. In the previous lecture we were discussing the Marshall stability test. Uh, we understood the apparatus and the procedure for Marshall stability test and what are the key outputs of Marshall stability test, and we were discussing about the analyzing the results that we obtained from the Marshall stability test. Okay, so we were discussing that we drew few graphs. Okay, so the first graph that we draw is between the Marshall stability value versus the percentage bitumen. Okay, percentage bitumen. Second one is voids filled with bitumen versus the percentage bitumen. It is percentage voids filled with bitumen. Okay, so third graph was we discussed was percentage air voids versus the percentage bitumen, and fourth graph was the Marshall flow value versus percentage bitumen, and the fifth graph was density versus percentage bitumen. Okay, so out of these five graphs we have discussed this Marshall stability flow versus stability value versus the percentage bitumen. It comes out to be like this. We also discussed this graph immediately at this number 2. It comes out like this again. Okay, this I said that we will discuss these parameters in the next lecture, that is in this lecture, and we will be discussing these two parameters in this lecture. Okay, and the graph for Marshall flow value versus the percentage bitumen is of this kind. Okay, it comes out to be the typical graphs are of this kind, and it is important to understand the nature of these graphs because it is important from the GATE examination point of view. Okay, in this lecture we will be discussing how to analyze these parameters, the percentage voids filled with bitumen and the percentage air voids. Okay, so to discuss this I have a snap from Justo and Khanna, uh, in which we will be discussing these terms. I have uh, intentionally taken this from Justo and Khanna because it happens many times that you misunderstand these terms, and it is important when I write that there is possibility that you perceive these terms wrongly. So in this we will be discussing many terms, uh, quite more in number. Okay, so please pay attention. So bitumen concrete, we will be discussing about the bitumen concrete. Okay, everything about the bitumen concrete. So bitumen concrete consists of the coarse aggregate, fine aggregate, the filler material and the bitumen. Okay, these are the four important constituents of the uh, bitumen concrete. Okay, so if I draw a phase diagram of bitumen concrete, it will be of this kind. Okay, so here there will be solids, then will be bitumen, and there will be air. Okay, so these are the solids, the bitumen and the air. Okay, so all of them are in percentage. Okay, so this is the percentage air voids. This one stands for percentage bitumen, or I say that it is VV. Okay, as per their convention, see, it is VV, volume of air voids in percentage. Okay, and this is VB, that is volume of bitumen in percentage. Okay, so and this one is the solids, that is coarse aggregates plus the fine aggregates. Okay, and the filler material. Okay, yes, so this is the phase diagram. So our final task is to find out the percentage voids in mineral aggregates and the percentage voids filled with bitumen. Okay, because in these graphs, see, we have not discussed these two things, the VFB and the VA things. Okay, so that is what our target is now, to calculate this from the composition, the constituents, that the knowns in the bitumen concrete to us. Okay. So yes, so this one, the percentage air voids V, capital V suffix small v, it is given by this formula GT minus GM upon GM into 100. So please rectify over here that in the denominator in place of GM it should be GT. Okay, so V suffix V equal to volume of air voids in percentage equal to GT minus GM upon GT into 100, where GM and GT are the specific gravities, where GT is the theoretical specific gravity of the mixture. Okay, please write down GT is the theoretical specific gravity of the mixture, the theoretical specific gravity of mixture. Okay, and GM is the measured specific gravity. You write that it is measured specific gravity, okay, of mixture, the concrete. Okay, so while calculating the GM value, okay, we consider the airs, we consider air. Okay, and while calculating the GT, the theoretical specific gravity is calculated without considering air. How do I write? So GT is without considering the air gaps or the air voids. Okay, so if you know these two values, okay, GM and GT, we can find out the percentage air voids using this formula. Okay, so how to calculate the GT and the GM values? First we will look forward to calculate the GT. So GT is given by this formula, GT equal to 100 upon, it is 100, I don't know why it is of this kind, 100 upon W1G1 plus W2G2 W3G3 plus W4G4, where W1 is percentage by weight of coarse aggregate in total mix. Okay, so better way to write down the same formula is GT equal to 100 upon percentage weight of coarse aggregates upon the specific gravity of coarse aggregate. Okay, G suffix C plus percentage by weight of fine aggregates, okay, in total mix. So percentage weight of fine aggregates upon the GFA. Okay, GFA plus percentage W3 is percentage by weight of filler in the total mix. So W filler, okay, percentage W filler upon G filler. Okay, that is the apparent specific gravity of the filler. Okay, next one will be about the binder, the fourth one, percentage by weight of bitumen in total mix. So percentage W suffix B upon G suffix P. Okay, the specific gravity of the bitumen. Okay, so this comes from a very common formula, that if you just take this GT to denominator on this side and this whole complete term over here on the left hand side, then you will get the standard formula to obtain the overall specific gravity of the mix from the known specific gravity of the components, the constituent materials. Okay, from the percentage weight and the constituent materials, and this formula is already known to us. I have just manipulated it to get GT equal to so and so. Okay, so please write down this carefully, that GT equal to 100 upon, either you write it in this format this one or this one. Okay, so it means one and the same thing. I have just changed the suffix 1, 2, 3 and 4 by the coarse aggregates, fine aggregates, the filler material and the bitumen. Okay, so please write this properly. Gt equal to 100 upon W1 by G1 plus W2 by G2 plus W3 by G3 plus W4 by G4, where W1 is the percentage by weight of coarse aggregate in total mix, W2 is percentage by weight of fine aggregate in total mix, W3 is percentage by weight of filler in the total mix, and W4 is percentage by weight of bitumen in the total mix. Okay. Similar is the case for G values G1, G2 and G3. These are the specific gravities. Okay. The specific gravities there. So in this formula, see, you can relate that here in this formula, say this was on the left hand side and then the right hand side would have been 100 upon, okay, I'll just clear everything. Yes, then this formula would have been of this kind, equal to 100 upon, this is wrong, upon GT. Okay, so you see, it is for the first constituent, second constituent, third constituent and the fourth constituent. Okay, adding all the four constituents, what you get, the 100% weight of the mixture. Okay, 100% weight of the concrete. Okay, and GT value that you get to obtain over here is for the theoretical GT value, the specific gravity value of the complete concrete, taking into effect the account the all these four different constituents with different specific gravities and the different percentage weights. Okay, so different weightages. Okay, so this is how you get GT. GM is, since the measured specific gravity, okay, that can be measured in this way, that GM will be given as gamma m upon gamma w, where gamma m is the bulk density or the mass density of the specimen, or you say that it is the unit weight of the specimen. Okay, unit weight of the specimen, and gamma w is unit weight of soil, unit weight of water. So when you divide the unit weight of the specimen, the material under consideration, with the unit weight of the water, then what you get is the specific gravity for that material, that is the measured specific gravity in this case. Okay, then we get the GM value. Okay, so now you are aware of the GM value as well as the GT value. Just substitute it over here in this formula. It should be GT in the denominator. Okay, GT minus GM upon GT into 100. So percentage air voids equal to GT minus GM upon GT into 100. Okay. So next thing that we need to calculate now is the percentage of voids in mineral aggregates. Okay, percentage of voids in the mineral aggregates. So VMA is given by this formula. VMA, percentage voids in mineral aggregates, is equal to this V suffix V, that is the volume of air voids in percentages, plus capital V suffix B, the volume of specimen, the percentage volume of bitumen in percentage. Okay, volume of bitumen percentage. VV value we get from this. Okay, VV value we get from this, and that is the reason actually why we went on to calculate the V suffix V, that is the volume of air voids in percentage, and then we are not now aware of the V suffix B, that is the volume of bitumen in percentage. So volume of bitumen in percentage can be found out using this formula. Okay, this formula, the volume of bitumen in percentage will be GM into, it should be GM into W4 upon G4. So once we know this VB value, okay, we can just substitute it over in this formula and we will get VMA, that is the percentage voids in mineral aggregate. Okay, so VMA is percentage air voids plus percentage air voids plus the volume of bitumen, or that is also voids filled with bitumen. Okay, so percentage voids filled with bitumen will be the percentage of voids that are filled with bitumen out of the total volume of voids. Okay, that is the VMA, the voids in mineral aggregates. Okay, so VFB, the voids, percentage voids filled with bitumen, are given in this by this formula, VFB equal to 100 VB upon VMA. Okay, mm, these terms might complicate you at this point of time, but once we take up numerical example, it will be clear to you. Okay, guys. So here in this case, our suffix 1 stands for the coarse aggregates, suffix 2 stands for the fine aggregates, suffix 3 stands for the filler material, and suffix 4 stands for the bitumen. Okay, so this is the sequence: coarse aggregates, fine aggregates, filler, and the bitumen, the binder. Okay, so in case of cement concrete also, normal are concrete, the sequence is of similar kind. Okay, so let's move ahead now. Okay, we will take up some examples so you will get a clear idea about it. Or before that, just to brief you again, I'll repeat this procedure. Okay, so what we need is VMA and VFB. Okay, VMA and VFB, because we want to analyze these terms with respect to the percentage bitumen. Okay, so VMA stands for, VMA is the total voids in mineral aggregates. Okay, in percentages now everything. So percentage air voids plus percentage volume of bitumen. Okay, since in our 3D three-phase diagram, it was here there were air voids and voids filled with bitumen, and there were solids over here. So this is what complete VMA is, the addition of these two. So now what we want to do is we want to find out VB. So VB is given by GM into WB upon GT. Okay, you know now what does GM means and what does GT means: the measured specific gravity and the theoretical specific gravity. Okay, so one more thing that you should notice, that theoretical specific gravity is equal to the specific gravity is equal to the uh, unit weight itself, uh, since if it is measured in gram per cc. Okay, gram per cc, the reason is that you specific gravity specific gravity is equal to unit weight of specimen upon unit weight of water. Okay, unit weight of water. But if you see what is unit weight of water, then it will be equal to 1 gram per cc. Okay, 1 gram per cc. So in denominator, if you put 1 gram per cc, then you get it equal to unit weight of the given specimen itself. So these are interchangeable with gamma value if we are using gram per cc. Okay, so that is the VB value, and the VA value will be equal to, VA is given as GT minus GM upon GT into 100. Again, it is in percentages, where GT is the theoretical specific gravity that we calculate using this formula, GT equal to 100 upon percentage weight of coarse aggregate by specific gravity of coarse aggregates. I am writing in terms of coarse aggregates now. You can also write it in terms of 1, 2, and 3, and 4. I am purposefully writing this since you will get idea. Okay, W fine aggregates upon G fine aggregates plus percentage W filler material upon G filler material plus percentage bitumen upon G bitumen. Okay, so from here you get the GT value. GM value is to be calculated. GM, it is very simple. It will be given as gamma M upon gamma W. Okay, gamma water, and that you need to calculate this gamma M, that is the unit weight of the measured unit weight. Okay, measured unit weight of the sample. Okay, so from here using these two, you get the VA value. You substitute the VA value over here, and you get the total VMA, that is VA plus VB. So in this way you get VMA. Next thing is that to calculate VFB, that is the voids filled with bitumen. So there are total voids are VMA, total voids in mineral, volume of voids in mineral aggregates. So that is equal to VA plus VB. So this one is complete VMA. This is air void and these are the bitumen voids. So this is complete. So you want to know percentage of bitumen voids. So it is simply VFB equal to VB upon VMA into 100. So nothing special and nothing great in all these calculations. Okay. Just thing is that these are interlinked, and since they are interlinked, there is high probability, high chance of questions being asked on this. Okay. So let us take up an example based on this, guys. So you will get clarity, further clarity on these concepts. Okay. Yes, so question number one is a bitumen concrete mix has average specific gravity of material as 2.325. Average specific gravity is given, that means GM is given, that is equal to 2.325, and theoretical specific gravity, that is GT, equal to 2.41. See, theoretical specific gravity is greater than this GM value. Okay. The density of bitumen used is 1.03 gram per cc. Gamma B is given to be 1.03 gram per cc with 4.5% bitumen content by weight of the mix. So with 4.5% bitumen content by weight of the mix. So percentage bitumen is 4.5%. Okay. So yes, determine VMA and VFB. VMA is equal to what and VFB is equal to what? Okay, this is the question. So we now know that VMA is equal to VA plus VB. Okay, VA can be found out from VA equal to GT minus GM upon GT into 100, which will be given as GT is 2.41 minus 2.325 upon 2.41 into 100. I hope you know the terminologies. Okay, GM is the measured specific gravity of the specimen, GT is the theoretical specific gravity, gamma B is the unit weight of the bitumen, WB is the percentage weight of the bitumen, VMA is the voids in mineral aggregates in percentages. Again they are asking, VFB is voids filled with bitumen, again in percentages. And so I hope I have cleared the uh, terminologies. Okay, the symbols, meaning of these symbols. So it comes out to be 3.52 percentage. Okay, VA comes out to be 3.52 percentage. Okay, now we want to calculate VB value. VB, so VB is given as GM upon GT into WB. Okay, GM upon GB, it should be not GT, it should be GB. Gamma, it is specific gravity of bitumen. Okay, so GM is known to us, that is 2.325 upon GB value. Okay, now to calculate GB, since it is in grams per cc, GB will be equal to, here GB equal to gamma B upon gamma W. Gamma B upon gamma W is equal to 1. So GB is equal to gamma B itself, that is 1.03. 1.03 into WB, percentage weight of bitumen, that is 4.5. Okay. So please calculate what is the value of it. That comes out to be 10.1, 10.57, sorry, 10.15 percentage. Okay. So VMA value, the VMA equal to VA plus VB, that is equal to VA is 3.52 plus VB is 10.52, which is equal to 13.65 percentage. Okay, VMA is equal to 13.65 percentage. So it's very simple, straightforward question. So we are left with calculation for VFB, volume of voids filled with bitumen, that is equal to VB upon VMA into 100, that is equal to VB is, here everything is in percentages. Okay, VB is equal to 10.15 upon 13.65 into 100, whatever comes is the answer. And now I want you people to calculate it. Please calculate. So the next question now, if you understood this question, we will go ahead. Okay. So in this question, it is given that the specific gravities and the weight proportions are given as under for the preparation of Marshall mold. So here it is given. They have given the specific gravity and the weight proportions. The volume and weight of Marshall specimen are 475 cc, that is centimeter cube volume is, and the weight is 1100 gram respectively. So assuming absorption of bitumen by aggregates is 0, determine percentage air voids, percentage bitumen by volume, and percentage voids in mineral aggregates. Okay. So same thing, they are asking for VA, VB they are asking. Here everything comes in percentages, okay. So I am not mentioning it again and again. And percentage voids in mineral aggregates, that is VMA. Okay. And this information is given. So we know that VA is equal to GT minus GM upon GT into 100. But currently we don't have GM value as well as GT value is not given. So first we will calculate the GT value. GT is given as 100 upon percentage weight of coarse aggregate upon specific gravity of coarse aggregate plus percentage weight of fine aggregates upon specific gravity of fine aggregates plus similarly two more terms for the filler material and the bitumen. Okay. In this case there are 1, 2, 3 and 4 constituents are given already. So this is a generalized formula. It can be extended to n number of constituent materials that is present. Okay. So here there are in total 5 constituent materials present. So first what we will do, we will calculate the percentage weight. Okay, here the weights are given as in grams, that we need to calculate in percentages. Okay, so the total weight is you need to just make summation of all these and the total weight comes out to be, please tell me the answer. It comes out to be 2600 grams. Okay, 2600 grams. Okay, yes. So the percentage weight of A1 is 31.73, 31.73%. Similarly calculate for A2, A3 and A4. Okay. So second one is 46.15%. Third one is 12.5%, 12.5%. And the fourth one is 5.76%. And bitumen is 3.84%. Okay. Yes. So just using this formula of GT, we will calculate the GT value. So it comes out to be 100 upon 31.73 upon 2.63 plus 46.15 upon 2.51 plus 12.5 upon 2.46 plus 5.76 upon 2.43 plus 3.84 upon 1.05. Okay. So this is one thing. So the answer that you get is 2.40. Okay. 2.40 is the theoretical specific gravity of the bitumen of the specimen. Okay. Okay. Now we will calculate the GM value. GM value. So Gm equal to gamma m upon gamma w, where gamma m, the measured unit weight is this, the weight upon the volume, or the mass upon the volume. So it is 1100 upon 475. It is in gram and it is in centimeter cube. We call it as density U, and in gram per cc it is, so 2.315 gram per cc. Okay, 2.315 gram per cc. So Gm we get is equal to 2.315 upon gamma w is 1. Therefore 2.315 gram per cc, that I just discussed, that if it is water then it comes out to be 1, so it remains 1 and the same. So now in this formula we have calculated GT for this formula as well as the GM, and we needed these two values itself. So VA value we will get VA equal to GT. GT is 2.40 minus GM 2.315 upon 2.40 into 100, which is equal to VA is 3.8 percentages. Okay, the book calls it VA as VV. Okay, VA book calls VV. Since it is air, I have written suffix A. Okay, so it is interchangeable, no doubt. So please understand the meaning of these things. So we have calculated VA, the percentage air voids, that is equal to 3.8%. So we will go for percentage bitumen by volume. Okay, percentage bitumen by volume. Okay, I will write it over here. This is actually the next question, but we will find out percentage bitumen by volume. So not this question. Okay, this is the next question. So VB is equal to percentage weight of bitumen into GM upon GT. So percentage volume of bitumen is given to be, it is not given, but we have calculated it to be 3.84%. Okay, here we have calculated it to be 3.84%, or here we have calculated it to be 3.84%. Okay, so GM value is now known to us, that is equal to 2.315. Okay, and the next quantity that we needed is gamma B or GB, that is 1.05. Okay, so let us use these values. Yes, it is not GT guys, it is GB. I'm sorry, again and again I am writing the same thing. So percentage WB is 3.84. Okay, into GM value is 2.315 and GB is 1.05. So this formula is quite logical. See, it is weight upon the GB is the, like here, since GB and the gamma, the unit weight are same, but it is mass upon density that gives the volume, and it is the scaling factor here. So just to give you insights of this formula, I stated it. Okay, so the answer comes out to be 8.46 percentages. Okay, 8.46 percentage. So we have answered this question, the question number B. Okay, this one A as well as B we have covered. Now we want to find out the percentage voids in mineral aggregates. Percentage voids in mineral aggregates. So VMA is equal to, it is simply addition of these two. VV or VA, I was writing VA plus VB, that is VA was 3.8% and VB is 8.46%. Therefore VMA is 12.26 percentages. 12.26 percentages. So it is quite a straightforward question. There is nothing to like think in this. Okay, It is a very straightforward question, guys. So this way we have calculated all three VMA, VB and VA. And this is all about, okay. And questions, there are chance that questions will be asked based on this. So if you have written this, we will move on to the next question. So the next question is, a subgrade soil sample was tested using standard CBR apparatus and the observations are as given below. Okay, assuming that the load penetration curve is convex throughout, the CBR value in percentage of the sample is. That is very simple question. And I guess that we are done with this question. But yes, okay. Just for recap, we will take it again. So if you read the question, subgrade soil sample was okay. Okay, fine. So CBR 2.5 CBR 2.5 is equal to 60.5 upon 1370 into 100. So these values, the standard values you need to remember, okay? And CBR 5 is equal to 80.5 upon 2055 into 100. The answers that you get is 4.4 percentage and 3.9 percentage. So whichever is the greater value, this comes 2.5 usually comes out to be the greater value. So that is the answer, and it should be greater than 5, CBR 5. If not, you have to repeat the experiment, and whatever the answer comes, that will be the final answer. Okay. So here the CBR value is CBR of sample is equal to CBR 2.5 is equal to 4.4 percentage. And in competitive exams, CBR of soil is higher value of CBR 2.5 and CBR 5. Okay, because question is to be framed in such way. Okay, okay. So there is a question that a bitumen mixture contains a bitumen mixture contains 60% of coarse aggregates. So coarse aggregates 60%, 35% of fine aggregates 35%, 5% asphalt by weight. Okay, so asphalt by weight is 5%, and determine unit weight of mixture after compaction with 7% air voids. So VA is 7%, they are saying. When VA will be 7%, what will be the weight of the mixture after compaction? Okay, so the question they are asking the as the weight of the mixture. Okay, sorry, they are asking unit weight of the mixture after compaction with 7% air voids. Unit weight of the mixture they are asking. So GM value, actually unit weight is gamma m, but in our case it will be equal to GM itself. Okay, and the reason I have discussed, because denominator comes out to be 1, and after compaction with 7% air voids. So volume of air voids 7%, and it is given that the specific gravities are given. This is percentage by weights, and these are the specific gravities. Okay, the G values are, for coarse aggregates it is 2.72, fine aggregates it is 2.66, for asphalt it is 1.0. So how can we find it out? This is the question. I want you people to think on this. Please think. So we can find out GT using these, okay? And VA is known to us, and this is what we have to find out. So we have formula that VA equal to GT minus GM upon GT into 100, that is GT, that is GT will be given as 100 upon 60% upon 2.72 plus 35% upon 2.66 plus 5% upon 1.0. Here you don't include air, okay? You never consider air over here in this. We consider only solids. So the answer that you get for GT is 2.48, okay? 2.48. So we will use this formula. VA is 7%. So 2.48 minus GM upon 2.48 into 100, which will be equal to GM equal to 2.28, and that is what we need at this point. Okay, that is what the requirement is. So in question it was asked, determine the unit weight of the mixture after compaction. Determine unit weight of mixture. Unit weight of mixture. Okay, so here we get the same value. Since GM is unit weight upon 1, that is equal to unit weight equal to GM. Okay, so we are done with this, and in this way we are done with highway materials and testing. Okay guys, we are done with highway materials and testing. We will now move ahead to pavement design. Okay, pavement design. Oh, before going for pavement design, we were left with two terms, two relationships, that is percentage bitumen. Okay, percentage bitumen on x-axis, and VAP, volume of voids filled with bitumen. Okay, so it comes out to be of this kind. Okay, now you understand what is voids filled with bitumen. You increase the bitumen percentage and you get, obviously the voids are going to fill. Okay, so more and more voids are going to be filled with bitumen. And again, percentage volume of air versus the percentage bitumen. So in this case, you increase the bitumen, your air voids are going to get decreased. So there is nothing special and nothing great about this, but it is important that you should have sense that this is the behavior of the voids with respect to increasing the bitumen content. Okay, so these were the two graphs that we did not discuss. Earlier we discussed the Marshall flow value versus percentage bitumen content. We discussed density versus the percentage bitumen content, and we also discussed the Marshall stability value versus the percentage bitumen content. And yes, now we should move on to pavement design. Okay, pavement design. So pavement design, there are two types of pavements. Okay, first one is the flexible pavement, and the next one is the rigid pavements, rigid pavements. Okay, it is designed as per IRC 37 2012. Earlier it was 2001, but it is now 2012, the next version. Okay, and rigid pavements as per IRC 58 2012, both updated on 2012. Okay, so example of flexible pavements are the bitumen road, WBM road, gravel road, earthen road. Okay, and rigid pavements are CC roads and the RCC roads. Okay. So I hope you got to know. The black colored roads are the flexible pavements usually. You see the tar roads, they are the flexible pavements. The kacha roads are the flexible pavements, and rigid pavements are CC roads and RCC roads. So what is the major difference between these two? Why there is, you see there are different materials being used, and here also the two materials are different. There is steel involved in this, but there is no steel in this. Still the names are different. Is there any reason? Is there any good reason, a solid reason for this? Yes, the reason is the load transfer mechanism. Okay, if you look at the flexible payments, you will find that flexible payments are of this kind. There will be, suppose this is the ground level, there will be varying course, base, sub base, and the subgrade. Okay, sub base and subgrade. Okay, so these will be the layers, and there will be load applied. Say point load is applied like this, then the load transfer mechanism will be of this kind. The load will be transferred to subgrade. That is, load transfer is through grain to grain. Okay, it is grain to grain mechanism. Grain to grain, it can be asked as 1 mark question. Okay, grain to grain load transfer. But if you consider the rigid pavements, it is of this kind, rigid pavement, and if load is like this, the pavement bends in this way. Okay, slight bending just like the beams. Okay, that you cannot see. So load transfer here is through slab action. Okay, that is, slab action is flexure or it is bending. Okay, flexure or bending, and we will be learning this in RCC very nicely and clearly. Okay, the load transfer is through slab action in rigid pavements. It is rigid pavements. Okay guys, rigid pavements. Here in rigid pavements, load transfer mechanism is through bending or the flexure, that is the slab action. And in this the flexible pavements, the load transfer mechanism is from grain to grain. Okay, from grain to grain like this, grain to grain. Here for subgrade, from grain to grain, and here it will be bending. Okay, so let us discuss few design factors for the pavement design. We are currently discussing the flexible pavements first. Okay, we will be discussing the flexible pavement design. Flexible pavement design. Flexible pavement design. So design factors are, first one is the design life, and secondly it is the anticipated traffic volume. Anticipated or the expected traffic. Okay, so for flexible pavements design life is 15 to 20 years. Okay, and for rigid pavements, oh sorry, for rigid pavements design life is 20 to 30 years. Okay, 20 to 30 years. And I am discussing that the anticipated or the expected traffic volume is given as A equal to P in bracket 1 plus R to the power n or x, whatever you say. So where P is where A stands for anticipated traffic volume. Okay, that is in A is the anticipated traffic, where P is past traffic at the last count. Past traffic at last count, it is traffic volume. Okay, at last count, that is given in CV per day, commercial vehicles per day. See, in pavement design we consider the commercial vehicles per day, that I'll come to I'll discuss what is the commercial vehicle. Okay, n is the number of years after the last count. Number of years after the last count. After the last count. Okay, and R is the growth rate. R is the growth rate. Okay, so we don't consider the PCUs in the pavement design. We consider commercial vehicles per day in pavement design. So the traffic volume that you will be having will be in the PCU per day, that you need to convert all PCU per day to CVs, the commercial vehicles per day. We don't use that PCU in the uh, the traffic sorry the pavement design, as PCUs don't cause any kind of harm to our pavements. Okay, PCUs are light vehicles and uh, they don't cause any kind of harm. So what is the criteria for the commercial vehicles? Okay, so if the laden weight is greater than 3 tons, then it is called the commercial vehicle. Okay, the laden weight is greater than 3 tons, it is called commercial vehicles, and it is important. Okay guys, you should know what commercial vehicle is. If the laden weight is greater than 3 tons, then it is the commercial vehicle. So please write down that in pavement design, commercial vehicles are considered. Commercial vehicles are considered. Okay, and in traffic engineering, PCU, passenger car units, are considered. Okay, common unit of traffic volume in pavement design is commercial vehicles per day. Common unit of traffic volume in pavement design is commercial vehicles per day, and traffic engineering it is PCU per day. Please look for the spelling. Okay, engineering, please look for the spelling. PCU per day or PCU per hour, sorry, it is the common unit is PCU per hour in this case, and it is commercial vehicles per day in this case. Okay, so we should take up a numerical example based on this formula, the anticipated traffic volume formula. Okay, we should take up a numerical example based on this formula now. Yes, so the question is that traffic in last count, okay, say 2011. So traffic in last count, that is 2011, is equal to 4,382 commercial vehicles per day. Okay, and the growth rate R is equal to 7.5%. Okay, 7.5%. So this is IRC value 7.5%, which is general for Indian traffic. General for Indian traffic. Okay. Traffic in 2015. Traffic in 2015 is equal to what? This is the question. So anticipated traffic in 2015 is what is the question. So in this case, n is equal to 4 years, that is 2015 minus 2011 equal to 4. Okay. So anticipated traffic in 2015 is equal to P in 2011 into 1 plus R to the power n, which is equal to 4382 into 1 plus 7.5 upon 100 raised to 4, which is equal to 5852 commercial vehicles per day. 5852 commercial vehicles per day. So this is a very simple and straightforward calculation. Usually the anticipated traffic is for the design life period. Such examples we will take in this lecture itself, okay, in the next lecture. So we now stop here, and in the next lectures we will discuss the further concepts for the payment design, the flexible payment design. Okay guys, so thank you so much and see you in the next lecture.